Story time on how I nearly got kidnapped. Yes, I tell you that I have been through everything, bitch, I mean it, okay? I mean it. Okay, so backstory. I was in a friend group of 3 people, me and 2 other girls, okay? We were best friends, and we were in year 7. So me and one girl lived in a permanent place, and the other girl lived quite far away, but she used to come down to where we lived on certain weekends. So the weekend that she's here comes, and we all want to go out, okay? We all plan to go out, and that's exactly what we do. We do basic year 7 stuff, go to the park, go to the shop, whatever. But because it was winter, we decided to go back to my house because it was absolutely pissing it down, okay? And I was not staying out in that rain. Hell no. So we're all having the time of our lives, right? We're all here, finally reunited, you know what I mean? And we're inside while it's raining outside. We're having a great time. And we check the actual time, okay, and realise it's time for them to go. So we called their parents, get in contact, whatever. They said that they're going to pick them up from a certain place. And that was only like a 3-minute walk from my house. So I said I'd walk them there and we would wait with them. Again, it was winter, so it was pitch black outside. So we're stood there waiting, doing a few TikToks, you know what I mean? Acting like the cool people that we thought we were. We were not cool, but that's besides the point. And this car rolls up to us and I look at them and I go, is this one of your parents' cars? And they're like, no. And I'm like, oh hell no, because it pulls up right in front of us and stops. Okay, it stops. This car is now directly in front of us, brakes on, stopped in front of us. We all sort of just stopped and stared at this car, and then the window rolled down. Like, I cannot explain to you how, like, suspiciously that window went down, but it did. And the guy in the car went, get in. I was like, no, who are you? You know what I mean? They were like, get in the car. I looked through like the window to the back seats. When I tell you the back seats were full of people, full of full-grown men, I'm not getting in that car. How you gonna fit us in there anyway? There's 3 of us and you've only got 1 passenger seat, bitch. No. I could hear in his tone that this guy was getting pressed that we weren't getting in his vehicle. I'm not being funny, mate, but you have a Corsa. Get a better car for one, okay? Sorry. But try and kidnap me in a nicer car next time. Anyway, so he's getting vexed and he's going, you don't want to make this difficult, get in the car. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. So what do me and my friends do? Bitch, we sprint. My heart is going pitter patter, pitter patter. We are legging it like our life depended on it, probably because it did. But anyway, I tell you, I heard this car screech and how fast that man decided to turn that car around and follow us with the car. He was foot flat to the floor, flying after us, and I was like, what do you want from me? 1, the fact that you're in a Corsa trying to kidnap me. 2, the fact you didn't even offer me any sweets to get in your vehicle. Like, what? Did you even practice this? Is this your first time? Because maybe I would have got in the fucking car if you would have given me a lollipop. So as we're running, this guy's beeping his horn, putting his window down, going, get in the car, get in the car. And I'm like, no, can you not see me running? Is that not a sign? Hello? Can you not handle rejection? Goodbye. We finally get to the road where you can just turn off and it's my road. So the road goes straight that way and then up again. Okay, we were running that way. This guy's still beeping. I don't know how someone didn't come out thinking that their Uber was here or something, mate, because this guy was honking his horn like no tomorrow. So anyway, we take the turn to go to my house and this guy just decides to fly off that way. And if you go that way, you can circle round to meet us at the other end of the road. And I think that was his intention. But as he came round the other side of the road, I went into my house and I dragged my 2 friends with me. So we tell my dad what's going on, right? Because everyone's crying. Even I'm shedding a few tears now. You know what I mean? I'm traumatised. I didn't even get a lolly. Like, what? I feel like I've been mugged off in this situation. I hear everyone else getting offered sweets, free candy, you know what I mean? Free shoes. And I got nothing. I got get in this car. Where's my lollipop? So anyway, we're obviously telling a trusted adult about this shit, okay? And that was my dad. So my dad gets in contact with their 2 parents and they decide to come and pick them up from our house instead. That happens, whatever. I'm pretty sure my dad got in contact with the police, but he didn't want to tell me as I was in year 7. I don't know if the police got them. I heard nothing of them, so I'm assuming that they didn't. The police didn't come around to ask me anything, so I'm just assuming that they got away with it, okay? And the police did fuck all, which doesn't surprise me anyway. But to that man in the shitty Corsa who tried to kidnap me without even offering me any sweets, go fuck yourself. Okay, you ruined my night. You ruined my night. And I didn't even get a lollipop out of it. Not even a Mawam. Not a fucking refresher. I got nothing.
I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble for this post, but wallahi, this is a conversation that's been overdue. I've spoken about every single like madness that's happened in my life, but I haven't spoken about this one. Y'all buckle the fuck up. Okay, this is serious. Let me not laugh. Maybe laughing is the only way I can get through this. But anyway, back in 2022, I was living at home, so currently live alone. I was living at home with my family. I'm a Somali girl, if you can't freaking tell. Somali household. I'm the oldest of 4 siblings. This is gonna get me in so much trouble. I'm so sorry. I'm saying this now, but me not care. I gotta talk my shit, and I have to raise awareness on this. But yeah, so I was living at home. You know, I was 22 years old. There was just a lot of conflict in the household anyway, because I'm growing up and I'm the oldest, so there's a lot of boundaries that I'm breaking. And there's so many boundaries that I broke before that to allow my siblings to do anything. Like, even, I never went PGL. My youngest sibling, I think he went PGL. I don't know if my memory's so shit. It probably did. Anyway, but I got to do DOV. That allowed them to do stuff. I got to move out for uni, which was anyone who's from a Somali household, you know that's not something easy for a girl to do. Like, our culture teaches and religion, girls shouldn't move out by themselves without a mahram. If you don't know what a mahram is, without a male guardian, blah, 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 which would be your husband or a brother or a father. So there's so many things that I would like fight against because I'm just that kind of person. I've always been inclined in the but why. And that can be a dangerous path, but I feel like I always challenged it in a healthy way because certain things just didn't sit right with my soul. It wasn't like I was clouded by society, like my soul, it just did not sit right with. So there was always conflict I had because I was always questioning stuff. And I know there's a lot of Somali girls that can relate to this. So yeah, that's literally the reason why I'm making this. But yeah, let me continue. So that's the backstory. In the summer, my mum went back home and was visiting her family. So we were living alone for the summer. A month before my mum went on holiday, me and my brother, so it's me, then my brother's like 1 year younger, 1.5 years younger. And that age gap always causes problems because if he was like 4 years younger than me, maybe he would have listened to me a bit more. But because it was like 1.5 years, the banter would always be, yeah, we're basically the same age. And like Somali boys, the way they think is like, regardless if they're younger than you, they're always going to look at a Somali girl as like they've got one up on you. Like whatever they say goes kind of mindset. I'm not saying all Somali boys, but it's kind of a common theme amongst Somali boys and Somali families. So yeah, 1 month before my mum went on holiday, me and my brother had a argument and that led to kind of a fight, but the argument stemmed because of my sister. He had an issue with my sister and was like, oh, she's up to no good, He's like, I know she's up to no good, X, Y, and Z. He just had a theory about her and was like, I know for a fact. I was like, okay, cool. He wouldn't be saying this without some sort of proof. So I asked her, she was at her friend's house. I was like, bro, look, because me and her share a room. Like, if she's up to no good, I can hear her on the phone. I can see everything. Like, we share a room. There's nothing that she could be doing too tough that I wouldn't notice or see. So I was like to her, look, I'm your sister. Like, the way I see it is if you tell me the full truth, I can work with that and then back it. Like, even if you tell me you're doing the worst thing in the world, I'll back it, bro. I'll even lie for you. I don't care. That's my sister. I got you. Loyalty, I got you. So yeah, I call my sister. My sister calls me. She's like, our brother's bugging out. He's saying all of this, saying that. I don't know what he's talking about. But she's not even at home. So she's like, bro, can you just chat to him? I said, look, I'm not going to chat to him until you tell me every single thing that he could be talking about, referring to. She was like, genuinely, there's nothing he could be referring to. Like, she listened to me, the stuff that she thinks it could be about, but nothing really added up with, like, what he was talking about did not make sense of what she was saying to me. So it's like, promise me now, because if I go into this guns blazing and back you, don't make me look crazy. It's like when your kid is like in trouble at school and they don't tell you the full story. It's like, I'm not gonna go to the teachers and buzz if I don't know the full story. So like, tell me everything. She said, I promise you, wallahi, this is the full truth. I said, cool. I was out with my friend. Come home, it's like 11, 12 o'clock. Come home. My brother's in the kitchen and I'm like to him, bro, like, chat to me, because we're so close in age, like, there's been times that we've had to pattern our siblings. Like, as the older two, there's a bigger gap between the next two. So us two always would G-check the next two. So I was like, okay, cool, look, tell me, I'm the sister, she's a girl, like, I can chat to her better than you can. Tell me what it is and we'll work from there. Talk to me. He's like, nah, bro. Like, he's like, nah, you already know. She's like this because of you. Starts cussing me out. Starts calling me every name under the sun. And I'm like, I'm still not taking it serious. I'm like, bro, tell me, what is it? Like, I'm still believing he must have found out something or knows something for him to be talking this, like, tough. He's not telling me nothing. And it just got so, like, he just started attacking me verbally. So I was like, yeah, you know, whatever. I just put my AirPods in. I was like, yeah, in a bit. I'm just going to leave this because now I'm getting cussed out. He's not telling me nothing. There's no point. So I start walking up the stairs And then he starts walking up the stairs, still cussing me out. Got my AirPods in full blast. He's still talking, still talking, still talking. One thing about me, yeah, I don't have a short fuse, but when my fuse blows, it will fucking blow. Don't tempt me, bro. Don't push my buttons to that extent. I've left the setting. You're in the kitchen. I went upstairs to my room. Why are you following me to my room? He follows me to my room. He's still talking his shit. And then I was like, bro, like, now, like, get out of my room. This meant to be my safe zone. Get out. And his room is like this, and then my room is like that. So our doors are literally right next to each other. He could have easily gone into his room. He didn't go into his fucking room. So then, yeah, I can't lie. I initiated it, or I didn't initiate it, but I did something back. There was a charger on the cupboard table, whatever, the cupboard top. Grab it and I whack it at him. Like, get the fuck out of my room. Like, I bugged out like that and I said, get the fuck out of my room. When I say this guy, so my door's like here. My wardrobe starts here and then goes to like the wall, right? And I was in that area. I swear, he pushed me into the wardrobe and like pushed me so severely. And then I was gonna, bro, you know one thing about me, if you do something, now we're never gonna stop. And that's one reason why me and my brother never got along, because he would always push my buttons so far that when I react, none of us are stopping. So I'd always have to stop because he would never ever stop. And if we never ever stop, what's that gonna lead to? Someone in hospital, someone dying. Like, I don't want to entertain that. I don't want to go through that. So he pushed me and I was about to lunge back and do something, and then I literally saw the look in his eyes and I just stepped the fuck back. Like, and I can't describe that look to you. I think the only people that would possibly understand what I'm talking about, and I'm not even trying to say I relate to your scenario, but the only thing I can kind of say is people that have gone through a domestic abuse situation with a partner or something, where you see that look of like, I could kill you. Like, I don't know how to describe it besides I could kill you. That's the look I saw in his eyes, to the point where I was like, I don't even want to retaliate. I literally stopped. I would retaliate, and I swear to God I'd retaliate. Try me, I will. But I didn't. I stopped. I was like, this is scary. And then my little brother, who his bedroom's a living room basically, it's like a conversion situation. He came upstairs and stopped the whole scenario. My mum sleeps in that same floor. She didn't stop nothing. She defo heard that. If my little brother all the way downstairs heard that commotion, my mum defo heard it. She didn't do a thing. And that's when I was like, nah, something's not right here. Anyway, that night, I go to sleep, and literally a wall separates us. That was the first time that I felt so severely unsafe. Like, you know, if you get attacked on the streets, you know that the person is outside of your home, and even then you still feel a threat, because what if they get into my home? My fear was then, the threat is inside my home. How am I meant to sleep at night knowing that this person just gave me this look of like, I could kill you, I want to kill you, and they're literally on the other side of this wall? Like, I couldn't sleep peacefully knowing that. And what killed me even more was the person who's meant to protect me, a single parent household, it's only my mum. If it was my dad, at least I know my dad can fuck up my brother. It's just my mum. She's the only person who he listens to and respects. She didn't do shit all to stop it. And that's what broke my heart. So I went to sleep, I wake up, I remember I sat in the kitchen. You know when you're just staring into like thin air, and you're just like, I just sat in the kitchen deep in thought, and I was like, this ain't it. Like, I knew, you know, Somali mums, it's a common thing amongst our community. Somali mums love off their sons, but I didn't realize how far that love went, and to the, like, what extent it went to. Boy, I thought that was a peakness. Little did I fucking know. Oh, I'm gonna have to do this in 2 parts, but anyway, so mom comes into the kitchen that day. She's getting ready for work. She's about to go to work, and I said to her, look, Hoyo, you heard everything that happened. I know you heard it. I just want you to understand, if you're not going to protect me in this household, I've got 2 options. I either call the police, I have to defend myself, and physically I don't have the strength to. I might have to stab this youth, bro, to protect myself. I might have to put a knife next to me under my pillow in case this guy ever tries to attack me again. I know it sounds so crazy, but that's the extent of how mad it was. So when I told my mom I'm either going to have to call the police or stab this youth, her response was, say it with the started you. Say it with the billah. And that was another issue that I had. She didn't take it seriously enough. She just saw it as like, how can you even think like that? And I get why she would think that, because when I say it out loud, it sounds absolutely crazy. But if my child said that to me, I think, what is going on that's so severe that that's the 2 options you've reached? Police, or I'm going to have to stab this youth to protect myself. And then the response of using some sort of religious saying towards it is like, just, girl, anyway. So that was her response, and I was like, okay, so I'm not getting any help from home. I'm not going to get any help from my mum. She doesn't understand it. She thinks I'm basically crazy for even thinking the way that I do or feeling the way that I do. I'm left in this by myself. And I was like, cool, so I'm just going to ignore this guy. We're not going to speak. He didn't speak to me, I didn't speak to him. Cool. We can coexist in the same household. As long as I don't push him and he doesn't push me, Adi, I can survive. And even the fact that I feel like I need to just survive in my own household is wild. So we get through the month, you know, my mom's still going on holiday, back to Kenya. And then she goes on a trip, you know, even though the state of her children were like, it shouldn't be a state that you should leave your kids in. But from her perspective, she didn't see it as something as severe enough. Like, she just saw it as they're kids, they fight. Like, obviously we're not kids, but to her, we're still kids. We're gonna have arguments, we're gonna have problems. Is it that deep for me to feel like they can't be left by themselves? Because deeper, I'm 22, he's 21. Everyone, like, my youngest sibling was like 16, 17. Everyone's over a certain age. Like, it should be okay for us to all be all together and for her to go on holiday. But it actually wasn't. It really wasn't. Sorry, further context as well. My mom is a very, very passive person, and not in a way where she means to be passive, but she's just like, she'd rather ignore problems than see it as like, you know, like, I wouldn't even say ignore it. It's something that a lot of Somali moms do, like apply religion to it, like make dua or just say this, or, you know, like if I ignore it, the problem will go away. If I put faith into God, the problem will go away. But there needs to be action with that faith that you put in, and there was no action. And I'm someone who's a complete opposite to that. Of course, the faith side, we're the same one, but in terms of passiveness, I'm the complete opposite. If there's a problem, I want to confront it so we can sort it out and deal with it. We have two completely opposite approaches, and that's where a lot of our conflict would come from. Anyway, so she goes on holiday. I'm the oldest, you know. I need to put freaking food on the table. How am I going to put food on the table if my mom's gone on holiday? Like, there's a certain level of amount of money that she can provide for us. But me, I'm outside every day. Like, I'm chilling with my friends every day. Like, I need lag. And the only way I was going to do that was through... I used to braid hair. I still can braid hair, but I used to braid hair and get money from it. So I prefer braiding guys' hair because it's quicker, it's easier. I'm not trying to stand on my feet for 10 hours and, you know, like 10 hours get paid a bill for 10 hours. What, £10 an hour? I'm not trying to do all of that when I can braid a guy's hair in 20 minutes, get £30 for it. Adi. Like, I was doing it for a while, and my mom knows that. Like, I was in a Somali household where, like, you can't be friends with guys, and mom knows that. Like, I used to break that boundary too. I have male friends. Like, my guy friends have come into my house before. So, yeah, anyway, I was like, okay, cool, I've got a free yard. I can braid hair if I want to. The only purpose of me braiding hair is to be able to, like, do what I want to do and make some extra peas and be able to do a food shop or whatever for my siblings and la la la. Like, I was someone who, I would cook for my family, do this for my family. Like, I was the bread and butter of my fucking family, bro. So, yeah, one of my friends came to me, and she was like, I've got 2 guys who want to get their hair braided. And I was like, lit. Like, 2 people, 2 clients, double the money, whatever. Boom. She was like, she had a yard herself, but she was like, I can't do it. She couldn't do it in her yard for a whole number of reasons. Let me not even. But she couldn't do it in her yard. And I had a free yard, so I was like, Adi, I can do it in mine. So, like, let's bring them over. But at the same time, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to just, like, it's not going to be just me and these 2 guys. Like, there's still a level of hishod, like, a level of, like, you know, respect that I have for my family home and for myself. I'm not going to just chill with 2 guys doing their hair. And, like, I feel like when I say I'm doing hair, Somalis think they're literally sitting in between my lap, like, in my vagina, facing me, actually, and I'm doing their hair that way. Like, no, bro. They're sitting on a chair. I'm doing their hair. I was in a room with 7 women, 7 of my friends, like 5 of my friends, and then there's like 6 of us girls in total, and then 2 of them. So it was like they're completely outnumbered, and I made sure it was a safe environment for me. Even I don't feel comfortable for myself to have 2 guys just chilling, me doing their hair. Like, I wouldn't do that anyway in any lifetime, regardless of the scenario. So let alone in my mom's yard. Anyway, I told my youngest sibling, I was like, tell my brother, the one that I have a problem with, just so you know, I let everyone know, but obviously me and him are not speaking. So I told my youngest sibling, my little brother, I told him, look, can you go tell the other brother, I'm going to braid these guys' hair, and yeah, like, people are coming over on this day, la la la. Mind you, like, we can have people over if we want to. He's had his friends over. They would smoke and chill in the living room, like in our mum's yard, actually, deep it. the same living room that is also my little brother's bedroom. So that shit would somehow run. But then anyway, let me not skip too far ahead. So I told my little brother to go tell him. He tells him, and he's like, yeah, cool, say no more. Just make sure no one comes upstairs. That's where my other brother's bedroom is. So I was like, cool, bet. I was a bit shocked. I was like, what? That's the only thing you had to say? I was like, okay, then charge it. Either way, even if he said hell no, I'm the oldest. You can't tell me hell no. If I want to do something in my yard, I'm going to do it. Same way you want to bring your brethren over and smoke in our little brother's bedroom and our mum's living room, stink up the whole gaff. Mind you, my brother used to smoke in his bedroom every single day. There were so many things we'd get away with. Bro, lean would be in the fridge. Like, I'm not even trying to bait out my brother's, like, them being whatever, but there were so many things that he would do that shouldn't be allowed. But this is the whole thing of what I'm saying of, like, the way somebody's mums are with their sons. It's like, blind eye, blind eye, blind eye. But then I step out and wearing a certain thing or whatever. Mind you, I was a hijabi back then. The most reckless I could be. Like, you think I'd wear this whole fucking hijab? No. Please, like, stop it. But my point is, there was always a sense of he could get away with so much, then I do one thing and it's curtains. So, yeah, like, I was shocked to hear that he had nothing to say much besides don't let anyone come upstairs. So I was like, cool, bet. And then I thought I informed everyone. My friends are all over at my house. I'm braiding the guy's hair. I finished braiding one guy's hair. I'm about to start the next person. I think I took a break because I just finished one guy's hair. I went to go to the kitchen. I had a tropical vibes. The ends know about tropical vibes. Sound like gunshots, bro. Anyway, I had a tropical vibes in the fridge. I went to go get my drink. In that time of me going from the living room to the kitchen, my brother, the problematic one, came down the stairs. He was getting a hoover or something to clean upstairs his bedroom. I don't know. The rare occasion that he cleans. Anyway, these fireworks are blocking my gangster, but we're going to ignore that. Anyway, he must have heard male voices in that time when he's coming to get a thing. So when I left, the living room was locked the whole time because my friends are there. Like, I don't want anyone just barging in. So when I left and then I was coming back from the kitchen, he sees me and he's on the stairs and he's like, I don't even remember word for word what he was saying, but he was just talking away of, you fucking stupid. I don't even know what he was saying, but it was just with such aggression. And my thing was, nigga, I ain't spoken to you for a whole month. How dare you think you can speak to me now? Like, just because you've decided to speak, do you think I have to respond to you? I don't have to respond to you, actually. So I was like, bro, shut up. And then I took my drink and I went to the living room. Locked the door because it's been locked this entire time and it's going to stay locked. Same way whenever he goes into that room with his brethren, he locks that door. So I go into the living room, lock the door. Anyway, lock the door. I'll have to start the next guy's hair. Why does the door get booted down, bro? Like, my brother's not even a strong character like that. All of a sudden, all the strength in the world mustered out of him. Boots the door down, comes lunging for me. And that's World War III just happened from then. He tries to attack me, he comes for my neck, and then I had the tropical vibes in my hand. It's like a glass drink, yeah. Tried to dash at him, it missed him. I don't think he even hit him, but it missed him. And then my little brother came after him and tried to stop him. And while all this is happening, he's literally, my brother, the problematic one, is grabbing the guy out of the seat, like, get the fuck out my yard, bro. And it was so funny because now when I look back, bro was out of breath, bro. He couldn't even handle all of that. Like, he's so used to bed rotting and doing nothing and, like, just being a bum with all due disrespect. That exercise took a lot out of him, actually. So it was like, he was like, get the fuck out of my house. But in the moment, it felt so violent. But now when I look back, you're actually the biggest pussy I've ever seen in my life. I'm going on a tangent because I can. Anyway, he's attacking these lot, telling them get the fuck out of the yard. And I swear to God, they were such nice, innocent youths who work in the NHS. They got out of that house. So yeah, at this point, he's attacked me. He's doing a mad thing. He's literally trying to fuck me up. My little brother is trying to grab him. Meanwhile, the other brother, the problematic one, is trying to grab these guys out of the yard. These lot are literally listening. They're like, I'm so sorry, bro. Like, there's Somali boys too. They get it. They would understand it from that guy, from my brother's perspective, and see as I get it. They thought it was obviously calm for them to come, which I was under the impression that it was, but clearly not. Meanwhile, like, I'm wilding out. I'm going fucking crazy. I'm like, nah, like, this was my final straw. I already reached an ultimatum of, the final straw was a month ago where he tried to attack me and I saw that look in his eyes, and then now he's doing this. I don't need to go through this, bro. I'm gonna call the police. And I was like, bro, I started bugging out. My friend's trying to hold me back. Wallahi, when I say, I've never had such strength like I did in that moment. My friend's bigger than me. Like, she's taller than me, bigger than me. She's trying to hold me back. Like, get the fuck off of me, bro. I probably hurt her in the process. Do I care? No. Get my phone. Call the police. I'm like, my brother's trying to attack me. Da 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 da. It's like, yeah, bring the police here. Then, I can't even. I hate retelling a story sometimes because you literally feel like you're back in that moment, and I don't want to be back in that moment because I'm in my peace, alhamdulillah. But this was not normal at all. Let me proceed back to the story. So I call the police. I'm literally hysterical at this point. I'm crying, I'm screaming. I'm like, nah, like, I'm not having this. I'm not dealing with it. This was my final straw. So yeah, I'm just not doing this. Get my cat. I'll never forget, it's the first time my cat stayed calm. Like, if I ever try to just grab her on a random one, anyone who has a cat knows cats won't just let you grab them like that, especially in a heated thing like that. She let me grab her. Like, she knew what time it was. She let me grab her, and I cut from the yard. I had my mom's car, and then we had one of the girls that was with us. She lived like a second away from me, like literally one road away from me. So he went to her yard, and I was literally crying. Like, all my neighbours saw me. They heard everything that was going on. And then one of the aunties that live in the area, who my mum used to be best friends with, which is so funny because that's like the last person my mum would want to know about her business. But she saw it. Oh, sorry, it's not my problem. Your son's moving mad. But yeah, I was literally crying in her arms. I was like, Hubba, telling her what happened. I was like, no, I can't do this. She was like so heartbroken for me. She was holding me, hugging me, and it was such a wholesome moment because it was like she was like the motherly figure that I needed in that moment, even though she's not my mother and my mother wasn't there, and even if my mom was there, she really wouldn't have done that, unfortunately. But anyway, I proceed to go to my friend's yard, and then the police officers came to that house and took my statement and stuff like that. I was hysterical, and mind you, when I'm leaving the yard, my brother's like, yeah, get the fuck out. Like, oh, you know, if there's one way to trigger Scorpio, that's the way. So he's like, yeah, get the fuck out, whatever. And that was like my final straw because he fucking taking the piss. Who the fuck are you telling to get the fuck out? He ate because I did get the fuck out and I never came back, actually. But who's laughing now? Because goody gay versus goody girl. The police come, they take my statement, and this is when I deeped how dark the whole situation was, because I think being a Somali and being in the like culture and stuff like that, you think certain things are normal when it really shouldn't be, and this is the main purpose of why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. I'm telling the police, it was an Asian man and a black woman. I'm telling the police everything, and they're literally like to me, okay, so like, you know, they're in shock of the whole story. They're like, what the fuck, kind of thing. They're like to me, okay, so, you know, we can take this to court, we can restraining order. They're telling me my routes that I can go down. And I'm like, no, like, I don't want to take this to court. Like, why would I want to take my brother to court? What the hell? Like, that's what I'm saying. No, I don't want to take my brother to court. I'm just calling the police, but I don't want to take my brother to court. I don't want him to go to prison because of this, because of me. And that's when they looked at me, like, you know when you see someone's eyes just like widen, like the micro expressions in someone's face, like they both just had this look of like, it's like a cult. Like, it's like they looked at me like she's in a cult. It's like how we look at cults and think they're not in reality. That's how they were looking at me. I was confused back then. I was like, why are they looking at me like that? Like, why would I want to take my brother to court? Why would you take your brother to court? And I think that was like a very pivotal moment in my life where I deeped like what we think is normal because of our community and our culture versus what's actually normal in the world is two different things. Anyway, they were like, we're gonna have to take him to the police station. We're gonna have to deal with this like to a certain level. In terms of the court thing and like restraining order, you do have some sort of a choice in that. But in terms of us like dealing with him, he is a criminal. He committed domestic abuse, and we're gonna have to deal with this accordingly. So y'all do whatever the fuck you want at that point. I was just in shock because they were like to me, basically, whoever owns the house gets to pick who's staying in the house between you two, because you guys can't live in the same house. You're not allowed to. Meanwhile, I'm just in a state of shock the whole time. Like, this is not something easy for me to process in the slightest. I'm literally just in a state of shock. I kept crying and then calming down, crying and calming down, and then my cat's in my friend's yard with her litter tray isn't here, her cat food. Like there's so many things going on. I don't know what to do. I don't even have my fucking toothbrush on my stuff, bro. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, am I going back to that house? Is he leaving? Am I leaving? Like, I don't know what was gonna happen. Then I get a text from my mum at some point Because, oh, hold on, I skipped the part. So I thought the police were going to come, like, straight away. I thought it was going to be the same officers that came from the interviewing me to go straight to him. Nah. I think that happened at, like, it was still light outside. So I think it was, like, 8, 9. It was summer. So it was, like, 8, 9, let's say. And they pulled up, a bully van pulled up at, like, 2 a.m. with 6 officers, pulled up to the house, basically breaking in, like doing a mad thing, going upstairs, because they're seeing this as we've got a criminal, like someone who's violent. We have to deal with this accordingly. It can't be 1 man, 2 man. It has to be 6 man. Mind you, my brother's banning a suit in his room. He's banning a suit in his room, and he's bugging out because he's like, "Oh my god, I've got drugs in my house. I've got weed in the house." Like, he's thinking about that, but no, like, nigga, they don't give a fuck about that. You just committed a bigger crime than smoking a bit of pot. Like, no one cares about marijuana. That you've just done you're a domestic abuser. Like, what the fuck are you worried about weed for? They take him to the station. I don't know what the fuck happened in their conversation, but he basically made it seem like, no, like, it's not a that thing. It's not a that thing. It's not a that thing. And then he goes back in the morning. I don't know. He went back home at some point. My mom then texts me and says, because I took mom's car, like literally down the road. Did I even take the car? I don't even think I took the car in the end because my friend's house was down the road. But she texted me. She's like, bring my car back. Take your stuff out that yard. Like, sends me a voice note saying all of that. Because I think I don't really remember. Like, there's a lot that I miss out of that. But like from that period of time, because it was so traumatic. But all I remember is receiving a voice note from her saying, take your stuff, bring my car back, and that's it. Then she sent me a follow-up paragraph saying, well, like, somebody was in their paragraphs and text. Well, please. Sends me a paragraph saying, this is my house, my rules. If you're going to live under my rules, no more going out, no more friends, no more this, no more that. And I was literally looking at my phone in shock, like, is she being for real? You're sitting here telling me you can't do this and that. What makes you think you get to give me an ultimatum? Why is there even a scenario where someone who's been a victim is being given an ultimatum of how to act? I don't know how to explain besides, I was literally like, is this reality? Like, is Prank Patrol going to come out sometime soon and tell me, oh, hello, this is a prank? Because how on earth is this real? But no, she was being so dead ass. And I think, I was like, oh, is she a bit gassed right now? She's a bit clouded because she's with her siblings and she's back home and she thinks, like, you know, like, the Duggan is back in you, so you think this wouldn't run back home. It's not gonna run in my household. I was like, I don't really understand, but babe, this ain't normal. Like, you're talking about someone who abused your daughter. Like, at the end of the day, I'm a woman, he's a man. I'm automatically outmatched. Let's not play games. That's the facts here. And I'm somehow the problematic person. And the biggest issue that I had was, and it's a fundamental issue of a human being anyway, to not feel seen or heard. She did not once ask me for my side. And that's something my mom was always notorious in. Like, she'd always, if there was an issue between 2 kids, she'd always ask, like, both people's sides and then come up with a conclusion. This time she didn't. And that's why I was so upset, because you didn't even ask me for my side. You made such a harsh decision without even consoling me and saying, hey, tell me what happened. And if you said all of that afterwards, well, I can feel a type of way, but at least you've heard my side. You didn't even hear my side. You just heard his side, and that was enough for you to be like, take your shit, bring back my car, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So yeah, like, my thing was, I don't feel seen or heard. My side of the story was never, like, heard. So I genuinely was just in such a state of shock. So the next part of this story, yeah, let me just get into it. So I ended up staying at my best friend's cousin's house, and this house is the same house I did the police interview in, and it was a road away from me. So it was the most convenient. Like, I went to get my stuff from my house and whatever, so it was just easy. Like, I'm just going down the road until I can figure out the next step. Ideally, I would never stay in someone's home because I know what that can lead to. I'm intruding on someone's space. I had so many friends. I still have so many friends. Alhamdulillah, I could have stayed in so many houses if I wanted. I could have kept sofa surfing kind of thing if I wanted to. But I didn't want to. I don't want to ever intrude because at the end of the day, someone's going to get sick of you. I need to figure this out for myself. I just kept looking at hotels, scrolling. Hotel prices are the peak, especially last minute. It's not something to do. And even then, cool, I can pay the 2 bills for the night. But then what am I doing the next night? I don't know. And one of my friends had gone through the whole council process of, like, claiming homelessness and stuff like that. So she was trying to guide me through what to do and whatever. And she had gotten her house through that way. So I could have stayed at her house, but I didn't also want to intrude on her. But I ended up staying at this cousin's house who also went through the homelessness situation, so she had her own space. And I knew deep down, like, there was a reason why I didn't want to stay in someone's house, because it's going to cause problems. And it did cause a problem. The first night, like, sleeping and waking up, it literally felt like I was, you know, when you're in prison and you, well, not even you know, like, but when you're in prison, you wake up the first day and you think, oh shit, where the fuck am I? Because you're so used to the reality of waking up to your own scenario, it's like situation, your bedroom, whatever the fuck. That's what I felt like. I felt like, where the fuck am I? Like, I woke up discombobulated, looking around like, huh? And then everything hit me like a time of breaks again. And that would happen for, like, it would get less shocking each day in terms of, like, oh, like, the first night was bad because why am I here? But then afterwards I'd wake up and remember, and I'd be in shock again, and I'll just wake up in shock the next day, wake up in shock the next day. And I was checking spare room like every single day. Okay, cool, I was working, so I could at least afford something. I might have to pick up a few more shifts or whatever. I think I was doing part-time, but my pay was really, really good. So I can at EE, commission eats there if you're ever considering a job at EE. But I was thinking of like, okay, cool, I can maybe do full-time and I'm gonna have to start paying rent and da-da-da-da-da. Like, I was trying to figure out shit, but at the same time, like, wait, why am I going through this like this? Like, I always wanted to move out, but then not like this. I had a friend who'd obviously, yeah, she'd gone through the homelessness process through the council and stuff, and she was telling me, look, like, you can do this, you can try this, you have a police record, like a police reference, so there's a case open going on, you have grounds to ask for help because you've been kicked out of your home, you're literally homeless, you're sofa surfing. And then I went through the council process and we're trying to get something, and alhamdulillah, that whole process of me getting put into a hostel was 1 week. But during that week, each day I kept waking up with a thing of like, oh, I don't feel like I'm wanted here. Like, I felt like I'm imposing on someone. So I'll try, like, the girl that's house I was in, she would go to work every day. So I'll do the most. Like, I'll clean the whole house. I'll make food. I'll try to do whatever my bit to, like, I'm not here to leech off of you. I try to buy groceries. She's like, no, don't do that. You know, you need to keep your money because you're going to be moving and you might have to go through this. Like, you need to look after your... Like, I was trying to do everything possible to make sure, like, I'm not leeching off your space. I get my scenario is peak right now, but I don't want to ever violate. I'm doing my bit, but little did I know, there was, like, some bullshit going on in the background. I then find out she was speaking to my friends, because we're all in the same group. But I don't think these are all my friends. I'm going to be real. Like, they're all my fucking friends. She was speaking to them saying, like, look, because she didn't want to bother me, I guess, because I'm going through it. So she thought, let me go chat to them and get some sort of help. So she thought, let me go chat to them, get some sort of help from them, advice, because she was struggling financially to be able to uptake 2 people because she's used to a household of 1, which I completely understand, especially now living alone. It is hard whenever someone is staying with me and I'm like, okay, like, I'm used to, like, dealing with 1 person to now, you know, even if I have friends over and I've made a grocery shop for 1 person and now I'm cooking for 4 people, that grocery shop is now halved and I have to do not, like, I get it, I completely understood it, but I would have rather she had that conversation with me, so, because I did have the piece to financially help out. It wasn't like I was completely down bad. I could have helped out, but she didn't want to bother me, which I understood, but going to my friends wasn't also the best thing, because then it became some Chinese whispers bullshit that ended up happening. And then, I don't know, some really toxic situation happened in this, where the other girl, the one who set me up to do the 2 guys' hair, ended up, I don't even know how to explain this in a normal way without it sounding fucked, because it really is fucked, but she was shit stirring so bad and trying to, like, cause a situation between all of us during me going for a mad thing, and made it look like the girl's house that I was staying in was talking shit about me, when she wasn't talking shit. She was just trying to vent to to my friends and say, look guys, I'm struggling here, what do I do? But I don't know how to make this make sense without talking too much about people's businesses, like, but also trying to tell my story. But what I'm trying to say is, basically, I got violated in that time, and I found out, oh, that girl whose house I was staying in doesn't want you in her house. That's what I got told. And that was my biggest fear in that moment. So I was like, yeah, bro, in a bit, like, this is what I didn't want to do, hence why I was doing the most, cleaning every single day, trying to cook this, trying to do this, trying to do that. Like, I'm trying to pay my respects. Like, at the end of the day, I come from a culture where you know what to do when it comes to these kind of things. okay, no, this girl wants you out of the house, basically. That's what I got told. And alhamdulillah, that is the day that I got told, oh, we've got a yard for you, we've got a hostel for you. It was a new build. It was like a good situation. So I was like, yeah, perfect, get me out. Because the first hostel I viewed was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. You know them like just not olden yard, but you know like the olden kind of vibe yards where it's like just a normal house where it's split into 6 different bedrooms or something, but you all share a kitchen, and the front door was broken so anyone can come. It was just it was just not safe for a girl to live, and it was a mixed house as well. So I wouldn't have wanted to live there. It wasn't comfortable. So we got out of for me staying there. But then the hostel one was the next hostel that I ended up staying in was really good because at least it was my own house. I've got a bathroom, kitchen. The only thing I have to share is a laundry, which trust me was a problem in itself. But yeah, it was a much better scenario than the first yard that they were going to put me in. And 2, it came at the perfect time because that was the same day that I got told, oh, the girl's house you're staying in doesn't want you in her house. So now if we summarize everything, I've just been kicked out of my mom's house, had a fight, no, I got been abused by my brother. No, I'm not being seen or heard by my family. Like, there's a lot going on. I'm going through like a complete, just shocking, traumatic situation. And then within that same week, I'm finding out the person's house I'm crashing in that I didn't even feel comfortable doing that in, because she's not technically my friend. She's my best friend's cousin. Like, it's not my brethren like that. It's not like we just built that bond from wherever. We're not forced into it, but kind of. Do you get what I mean? I'm now finding out she doesn't want me in her house. I was like, bro, every single fear possible is now coming true. It's safe, bro. I like literally just completely disassociated from everything. I was like, yeah, fuck this. Packed my shit from my house. My other friends spoke to her. I don't even know. And spoke to her for me because I don't have anything in me to discuss here. Like, I'm dealing with 10 million mad things right now. I don't have it in me to deal with another one. So I packed my stuff from her house. I go to a hostel, and I just completely I just went into a complete numb state after that. And it's like, even the first day that I woke up in that hostel, it's like, bro, even just hearing silence in a house was weird to me. Seeing one toothbrush on a toothbrush pot was weird to me. Like, every little thing. I didn't even have my cat at that point. Everything was just weird. Like, I just look around like, what's going on? So I was just like, yeah, cool. Dissociate. This is the life that you're in. You now have to pay a mad amount of rent for a fucking hostel. Work your butt off. I couldn't really do uni. I was enrolled in uni. I couldn't go. How am I meant to think about, oh, let me go complete my degree when I have to fucking work every single day of my life to pay rent and all this shit? Like, that wasn't what was going through my mind. So yeah, even living in a hostel, period, like, as much as that hostel was a new build and I was very fortunate to live in that building, alhamdulillah, you need to remember the type of people that are in hostels. How do I say this in a nice way? Like, people that are just recently off the streets. There was a guy on my building that was homeless for 7 years that was living in my building. Every morning, he would literally run around the top floor, the floor that I was on, in his boxers, barefoot, just run. Because it was like a complex where the front door bit would face each other. It was like a square. So you could literally just see. So from my kitchen, I'll see. If I wanted to sit outside, there was like a little ledge in my in front of the kitchen. I wanted to sit there, just watching my man, like, whatever. If he wanted to break into my house, he could. Like, there's so many tapped people in that building. Every single day I'm hearing someone bugging out in their house, someone getting fucked up by their man in another house. I'm seeing, like, bro, there's even a guy a Somali guy followed him home. Some Somali guy followed one of the Arab neighbours home and fucked him up. Like, that's the type of, some blood was on the walls. Like, there was so many type things, even going down to the laundry room. People are stealing people's stuff. Like, it wasn't a safe environment for a girl to live in at all. But this is the thing that, like, I don't think mom even realizes I was involved in or had to go through, because, you know, she's really thinking, I wouldn't want my son to go through living on the streets because drugs and da-da-da-da, but you don't even had the sense to think what could possibly happen to my daughter if she had to go through moving out or living, not even moving out, living in that kind of scenario, or like the aftermath of me moving out. Because I can't lie, I blocked my mom straight after everything happened. I was like, bro, in the nicest way, F you. Like, in that mindset, it was an F you thing. It's against my religion, against my culture. And that's another thing that really fucked me up with the religion thing. What do we get taught? Heaven lies between your mother's feet, in between whatever. Like, if you make your mom cry, if you make your parents cry, shame on you, you're going to hell. These are the things I'm getting taught, but I thought I was so wrong because I upset my mom, even though at the end of the day, she wronged her child. So what Dembi does she get? I don't want her to get Dembi. God forgive my family, God forgive me, inshallah. But at the end of the day, I never got taught that. I just felt the guilt of, even though I was done so severely wrong, and I know in Islam, none of this is okay, and she will have to be held accountable, unfortunately, and I hope to God she isn't, and I hope God forgives her for it and forgives all of us for it, for everything. But that's not how I felt. I felt like, this is what I've been taught. If I make my mom upset, then be on me. If, like, heaven lies between my mother's feet, then be on me. This is then be on me for even entertaining, for being a part of this, even if I was so severely in the right. It was just a lot. Like, that was the toughest year of my life. It was 1.5 years that I lived in that hostel, the toughest year of my life. I even tried to kill myself during that time. I don't even know who's listening to this point, but if you are, trigger warning. Yeah, that was I reached a point of like, how like, at first I was in a mindset of, okay, forget about this, just work. And then my birthday's in November, so everything happened in July, end of July, August, September, October. I was working, grinding, just trying to like get used to my scenario. Even where I was living, the area, like, it wasn't a safe area at all, but I had to firm it. Like, small things, like, even when I do my food shopping, normally in my mom's yard, whenever I do my food shopping, whenever I get off at the bus stop, I tell my brother, my youngest brother, to come pick up the stuff because I can't carry all of that. Like, I did the shopping, at least you now do your bit. But now, you know, I do the shopping, I have to carry that shit. I'll never forget, this was the era of when, I don't know if anyone remembers this, but the quality of the bags were really bad at one point, and they would literally rip, so the handles would come off. I was carrying a bag of shopping, and I had sweet chili, like the glass sweet chili, and it broke inside the thing, and then the bag kept ripping, and I'm literally walking through the park to get to my house, to the hostel, and I couldn't even carry it. Like, the bag was like, you know how a bag is like let's say as big as my hand. The bag had ripped to like all the way down to here, to the point where I can't even hold the stuff inside of it, and I couldn't even like ask anyone for help. There was nothing that I could do. It was like small things like that. It's not even a small thing, but things like that would get to me so much, because I'm like, if I was in my mom's yard, I wouldn't be going through this. I'll shout my little brother to be like, come pick me up, come get the stuff, or get me another bag or something. So I could ask someone for help, but there were so many things I go through. I'm like, I can't ask nobody for help. I have to do this myself. Like, even inside my house, figuring out bills, figuring out council tax. Like, how do I get exemption because I'm a uni student, or how do I even to do my degree? The luxury of being able to do my degree and being able to just solely focus on my degree. I can't just do that because I have to focus on paying rent. How am I meant to do my degree and do that? There was just so many things during that time, and then that's when I kind of fell into like spirituality and like the growth mindset and like reading. Like, it was a very critical point in my life, and I know exactly why God did it. I know God's plan for me, alhamdulillah. Like, I'm very clued on now, but at the time, in the beginning stages, it was a lot, and it did lead me to a point of like, I can't lie, I don't want to be here. Why would I want to be here? And like, even not having the presence of my mum in my life was a lot. Like, anytime I would see anything mother related to your mum, whether it's in a movie or I'm seeing something within my friends where like their mum's getting them a gift, or like their mum went shopping and they thought of them, so they got them this, I'm like, oh. You know, like, small things like that would get to me, because I'm just like, can't relate. So yeah, I took it as like, a lot of people fall into spirituality and stuff when you're going through something so horrific in life that you have no other option but to fall into like, you know, manifestation and looking at the other side of things, and there's like vibrations and whatever form of spirituality you believe in, or if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I fell into that kind of stuff, and I did kind of stray away from Islam. At one point, I didn't consider myself Muslim, which now I look back and I think, astaghfirullah, but I also, sorry, the battery thing came up. But yeah, I fell out of Islam at one point because I saw Muslims as a representation of Islam directly, which was where I went wrong as a Muslim. I can't take God, a perfect being, and the Quran, the word of God, which is the only direct word of God, and associate that with Muslims. That's where it becomes shirky a little bit. And that's where I fucked up. But I also see it as valid. That's why when I see people, you know, when they fall out of Islam, or they convert to a different religion, or they become atheist or something, and they started off as Muslim, I never judge it, because I completely understand it. And it's actually down to Muslims that made that happen, unfortunately. And that's it's so sad, because Muslims can also help the other side, where you get such great representation of Islam that people revert to the religion, alhamdulillah. And there's also the other side of it, where we represent the religion so badly that people take us as the interpretation of God and think, A'udhu billah, what the fuck is this? I don't want anything to do with it. And I fell down that trap. But alhamdulillah, God brought me right back. Thank God. But yeah, some people are unfortunate enough to be brought back, and that's where, like, I don't know, I think if you start off as Muslim, you always end up back there. Or, you know, at least God gave you that sign that, like, God showed you the right religion. If you come back, you come back. Sometimes people don't, but alhamdulillah, like, God loves me enough to bring me back, so I'm grateful for that. But it did make me fall out of love with it. And the Somali culture and community is a big part of that, because every single Somali who spoke to me during that time, most Muslims that spoke to me during that time, you need to speak to your mom. No, you have to speak to your mom. Like, stuff, like, you have to. Like, you know you have to. And it's like, nah, though. She did something that goes against our religion. And the reason why cancer for me was so dark was because I thought, it's done, but I was 22, 23 at the time. Like, I thought, you know, getting kicked out was the worst thing that happened to me. And then a year into me being in this hospital process, literally 1 year to the T, I got diagnosed with cancer. And that's what threw me off the edge, because I didn't even expect it. Like, I've had a breast cancer scare a few years before. So I already associate, like, you know, things, like, bad things can happen from health, but I never thought I'd get cancer, the cancer that I got anyway. And when it happened, I was like, I've already gone through the madness. What do you mean another one? And that's what triggered me and mom to end up speaking again, which is tapped in a way, because that shouldn't be the reason why you end up speaking to your child. But it is, that's how it happened. Till today, me and my brother don't speak. He did not come visit me in the hospital. He did not show any type of condolences, not even a message, a call, nothing to do with the cancer situation. And no one's tried to sort it out within my family.
I had to kick out my best friend / bridesmaid out of my bridal party, out of my life permanently, all over $15. I'm going to try to make this as quick as I can. I had my bachelorette in Cabo the first weekend in September. There's 10 girls. It was no pressure whatsoever. I originally only wanted to go with my sisters because I have 5 sisters, but I gave everyone the opportunity to go. So it ended up being 10 girls. There was 2 girls from Texas. That's where I live right now, but my whole family's from San Diego. So the rest of the girls and my sisters all live in San Diego. So these 2 girls that I met in Texas, we'll call them like A and K. So we all went. The first night we went to a nightclub. It was so much fun. You had to get bottle service in order to get into the booth. So I wanted to buy a bottle, so we did that. My sister ended up ordering another bottle. Someone ordered like beers, no big deal. We get the tab the next day, or my sister texts us or whatever in a chat, and she's like, hey, the tab was $800, so everyone needs to Venmo me $80 at your earliest convenience, My friends were like bothered by that. My friends A and K, because they're bothered that it was $80 a person because they said they didn't drink a lot. One of them, A, said she only had 4 drinks from the bottle that night, whatever. Just like whatever. And I was like, you know what, like, I'll pay for y'all's portion since I wanted to buy a bottle anyways. People had just already started Venmoing my sister. So it was like me paying for the bottle and her paying for the other bottle. Like, we just like didn't want to deal with all of that. We just figured everyone paid. We'll just pay for like more things during that weekend or whatever. So then A and K, A ended up emailing the nightclub for the itemized receipt because she was like so bothered by this $80. So then she got the itemized receipt back and whatever. They were just like obsessing over that all week. But I ended up telling them, because I was trying to nip this in the bud. Like, I knew, like, no, we're not doing drama this weekend. Like, you're not going to start the weekend off like this. Like, I immediately was like, you guys need to be on your own separate tabs moving forward. I was like, I don't want you to be lumped in with me and my sisters and my other friends are like buying. And then I said, I can pay for y'all's portions. Like, I told them I'll pay for those portions since I wanted to buy a bottle anyways. But they insisted that they didn't want that to be the solution. So it was like weird. They were like coming up with this problem, but didn't want to take a solution. So then whatever, like we stopped talking about it. And then on night 2, we're getting ready to go to the dinner and then the club. And so then I see them whispering to each other in the mirror as I'm curling my hair. And so I was like, oh, like,
hey, I heard A say, we'll just see how we feel after dinner. So I already knew where this was going. So I literally said, oh, are you girls like not coming out to the club after this? So then A was like, well, I have a migraine, so we'll just see how we feel after. So I was like, okay, whatever. So then we go to dinner. A is drinking cocktails, which is interesting because if you have a migraine, I just thought that like it was really serious, but whatever. So then of course after dinner, they're like, yeah, we're gonna go home. So they go to the Airbnb. The rest of the girls go out. Literally night 2 was so much fun. Like it was the best night ever. Probably because there's no negative energy, but whatever. I didn't sleep. I slept in a different person's room that night in the Airbnb because I just didn't like the weird energy I was getting from those 2 girls. So then the morning of the 3rd morning or whatever, I get a text from A and she's like, hey, can you come to our room so we can have a talk? So I'm literally like shocked. Like I'm like getting sent to the principal's office on my bachelorette. Like I'm literally like, what is going on? I have no idea what to expect. They sit me down. And they literally tell me I'm the problem, like I'm making them feel cheap, like because I offer to pay for them. And they said that they feel uncomfortable around my sisters and my friends because they feel like I'm making them to be like cheap people because they don't want to pay for the bottle service because they hardly drank, like all this crazy stuff. Like literally I thought I was in the Twilight Zone. I was literally just sitting there like, okay. So then A and K said that the night before they actually looked up flights to go home because they are so like bothered by this. So I literally like chimed in and I was like, I think y'all should leave. Like you're making me feel uncomfortable now. Like this is my bachelorette and you're making it about you. Like I literally said, I think y'all should leave. If like I'm not gonna beg anyone to stay and celebrate me. Like it seems like y'all have made up your mind. So then they decide, A said I'm 50-50. She's like, I already paid for this trip. So she's like, I kind of want to stay and use the amenities at the Airbnb while y'all continue with your itinerary. In my head, I'm like, no, that's not how this works. But like, and like that's just weird. Like you're gonna be a fly on the wall at my bachelorette. Like it's so goofy. So I was like, whatever. So then they're like, we need to go to breakfast to discuss. Like literally, y'all sat me down at my bachelorette and like, I don't know, I'm just so uncomfortable. Like I don't even know what my punishment is now. They have to go to breakfast and talk about it. So then they come back like the freaking twins from The Shining and they're literally like happy as can be. They're like, we decided to forget about it. And in my head, I'm like, why couldn't y'all have thought about this 24 hours ago instead of sitting the bride down at her own bachelorette and making this a big deal? But I was like, whatever. So we squash it and we have a great time. And then the end of the trip happens and A says, we actually, now that I have the itemized receipt from the nightclub, since she emailed them and ran all the numbers and stuff, she was like, we were shaking our ass on the boots and we decided that we do want to pitch in for at least one of the bottles from the nightclub. So I'm like, okay, cool. So she's like, we did the math and it's $65 a person. So in my head, I'm like, girl, like you started all this drama. You guys sat me down, you berated me, you threatened to leave my bachelorette party all over $15. Like I can't even buy a cheeseburger for $15. Like this is insanity. So then we get off the flight. A scurries off to the bathroom. She's like, I'll catch y'all later. I don't hear from her for 3 weeks. Like nothing. We used to talk every single day. She completely ghosted me. She only texted me to reach out and ask if I changed my Amazon password because she's on my account. So I sent her a message and I just said, this isn't for me. You're not a girl's girl. You can't celebrate my wins. Like your behavior, like threatening to leave the bachelorette. I was like, this is just too much for me. Like you're supposed to celebrate the most exciting time of my life, like not be the worst person I've ever met during that time. So I literally just said like, I'm done. Thank you. Whatever. Goodbye. I thought nothing of it. I blocked her immediately after that. So I don't know. So then everyone actually, friends, family, were messaging me a link to Reddit. So A had made an entire Reddit post about me, which I screenshotted it all. I even screenshotted the comments and literally just making me and my sister seem like pieces of shit. And then there were 6,000 comments. And because her whole thing was, am I the asshole here? And there were 6,000 comments of everyone being like, yes, you are the asshole. Like you ruined your friendship over $15. Like you are the asshole. So I'm just making this post to be like getting my story out because clearly she's fine dragging my name. She already deleted the Reddit. I do have screenshots of it if anyone wants to know, like the Reddit, and the comments are hilarious. But yeah, this is your sign that if you have any reservations about any friends, do not include them in these special moments that you can't get back again.